Pittsburgh today, where inside Castle Coliseum, Asia Durr and the second-ranked Louisville Cardinals await. Taylor Emery leads the Hokies as they look for the upset and play for K. Number 2, Louisville. The Cards have won 8 in a row. They sit on top of the ACC. But the Hokies may have hit their stride. They're looking for their 3rd straight win as they host Louisville today. And you're going to see a lot of pink, perhaps a lot of threes, as we've got the top 2 3-point shooting teams in the ACC. Jen Hildreth, Kelly Deo here with you. And these 2 teams, when they've met in ACC play, Kelly, it's been all Louisville. However, in their last meeting in the ACC tournament quarterfinals a year ago, Cardinals escaped with a 3-point win. Jeff Wall saying this Virginia Tech team worries him.
Yeah, and he's right to say that to his team. You got to take out those losses when you talk about this Virginia Tech team. They have 7 losses, but 5 of those are under 10 points. 2 of them in overtime to teams that are in the top 25. They've got 2 really solid players in Emery and then Reagan McGarity inside. But you look on the Louisville side, this is one of the best teams in the country, second best in fact. Asia Durr, one of the best guards that you're going to see, and she is playing phenomenal basketball right now. Defensively, Louisville has really shut things down.
Yeah, you talk a lot about their offense as well. You should, but the defense has really picked up for the Cardinals as we take a look at their Toyota starting lineups. Asia Durr leading the way, one of the top scorers in the ACC, along with Erica Carter, Jasmine Jones, Bianca Dunham, and Sam Furing on the inside. For the Virginia Tech Hokies, it was a sweep for the Hokies in the ACC Weekly Awards. Reagan McGarity, the ACC Player of the Week. Freshman point guard Dara Mabry, the ACC Rookie of the Week, for the work that this team has put in their last 2 wins on the road.
Dara Mabry alone in those 2 victories hit 10 threes, 6 which was a career high for her in that first win against Pitt.
We'll see a lot of pink on both teams and throughout the arena tonight as across the ACC and the country and women's basketball honoring a play for K. And we might have to do a redo on the tip here, as that one did not quite make it free between Dunham and Baptiste.
You could tell they wanted to hang up there a little bit longer, but could not do it.
So, take 2. Dunham got a hands on it that time. Got it quickly into the hands of Jasmine Jones, who thought she'd have an easy 2 off the tip. Not so.
Surprisingly, nobody picked her up, able to get right to the rim.
Here is Taylor Emery. You talked about her. What a phenomenal job she's done leading this team this season. Asia Shepherd making her first start of the season, coming off a strong performance. McGarity had 30 in the last game and has the first 2 today.
That step back is almost unstoppable. She's got length, but she is playing against a really tough defender. When you step back, you're going to hit that every time.
Shot from Dunham is short. And now the Hokies will try to set up in their half court. McGarity. Good rebound that time by Baptiste, and the putback is good. Trinity Baptiste, a 6-foot sophomore transfer from Northwest Florida State in her first year with Virginia Tech. Been in the starting lineup now the last 8 games. Durr. Open look inside. Define Furing. Good vision that time from Durr.
Bringing her off that screen right into the post area where she is most comfortable.
Mabry, you mentioned her hot shooting. Took a couple of steps that time, and she throws it away in frustration. Louisville Cardinals have won 8 straight, 3 wins over the top 25 in that stretch, including a big one over UConn. And Jeff Wall's very businesslike when talking about that UConn win. You asked him about it, Kelly, that his team believed all the way they could win it. They did, and then they had to move on and get right back to ACC play. Defensive pressure that time making Durr and the Cardinals turn it over.
And that mental piece is so critical when you're talking about a team like Louisville, who sits at number 2 in the country. They've never been to that number 1 spot. And knocking off a UConn on their home floor in front of an amazing 17,000 fans has to be a big mental boost.
Durr did not like the results in the half-court offensively last time, so took it back away. She has her first points.
And that's what Louisville will do. They will make you play really solid offense. You cannot make mistakes against this Louisville defense. They'll make you pay on the other end.
Emory, one of the top scorers in the ACC, gets it over to McGarity. It takes it strong to the basket.
McGarity has the ability to take it off the bounce like a guard. She stands at 6'3", but she has guard skills.
Jones pulls up. It's a bit short, but Dunham is there for the rebound. Thiering wants to drive and is fouled as she makes the basket.
The defense, as we said, has been picking up for Louisville in the last 8 games. 5 straight opponents they held under 50. Asia Durr gets going on the steal and then lay-in. And then here's the foul by the take by Thiering, the foul by Virginia Tech, and she makes that a 3-point play.
It was McGarity picking up the foul as Louisville takes the 1-point lead. Hokies have gone toe-to-toe here these first few minutes with Louisville. And you said it, those close losses for Kenny Brooks this season, really hard to fathom. His team has led in every ACC game, but they started the conference season 0-7. And now have come in here having won 2 in a row, both of those on the road. Mabry has 2.
Yeah, Virginia Tech was one of the few undefeated teams coming into conference play. They sat at number 25 in the nation, and I think nobody was more surprised than Kenny Brooks to see 7 straight losses for his team.
Durr, the ball handling, and then the dish, just superb to Dunham.
And that's an area that Coach Wall said that she's improved so much this season. Asia Durr, she can create her own looks, obviously, but when she reads defenses and gets other people involved, that's when she's at her best.
And she still averages just over 20 points per game, Durr, but is showing off her ability to find the open teammate when those defenses give her a little extra attention. Emory. Durr scored the first 10 points of the game for Louisville in their win against Syracuse on Thursday. And then after that was content to take what was given and find her teammates, let them help out with the scoring load. Finished with 15 points.
You know, that win, in my mind, was surprising in terms of how badly Louisville beat Syracuse. Syracuse, a team that puts up a lot of numbers, 76.9. They held them to just 51, 26 under their average.
Yeah, that's that great defense you've been talking about for Louisville. Carter. Three-point shooting hasn't really been there for either team thus far. Shepard. What a game she had last Sunday. Hokies were off on Thursday at Boston College. Was their last game last Sunday as Emory tracks down the rebound. Still looking for her first points. But Shepard had 14 points in that win at Boston College. All of those points in the fourth quarter. Durr is fouled on the floor.
Asia Durr, we said it, one of the best guards in the country, but she's at her best when she gets her teammates involved. Louisville up 1.
Finishing last season in the regular season on a down note, but boy, did they pick it up in the ACC tournament.
We went in, we played that Syracuse game. It was kind of like a tale of 2 halves, essentially. We came out, we were struggling. Syracuse was playing extremely well. We just really couldn't stop them, and we very well could have folded right then and there. We didn't. The kids rallied around each other. Things started to fall our way. We made some shots. Our defense got better, and it just propelled us into a very important win for our psyche, for our program. And from there, we had confidence, and we took that to another level. We played against one of the best teams in the country in Louisville, and went down to the wire. A couple plays down the stretch, could have gone either way. And I thought it proved to us that we were an NCAA caliber team.
And, obviously that loss propelling them into that WNIT where they had that incredible run, made it all the way to the final game. But you have to know that not making the NCAA tournament for Tech was such a heartbreaker, knowing that they had the ability to be there. Obviously this year they'd like to see a little bit different story in that tournament.
Well, and you have to wonder, Kelly, what would have happened had Virginia Tech been able to pull off that upset of Louisville in the ACC tournament? Would that have been the last straw to push them into the NCAA tournament, a place they have not been since 2006? Dana Evans off the bench and inbounding the ball for Louisville. Basket for Carter goes.
Dana Evans, one of those terrific players. She comes off the bench, scoring 10 points a game, second best for this Louisville team.
Emery over to Alexis Jean. She and Kendall Brooks into the game for Virginia Tech. McGarity on her way to the basket. Jump ball as both she and Dunham are going for the rebound. And you mentioned Dana Evans. What a terrific player coming off the bench. She is our Hardy's star to watch.
Yeah, in the last 4 games, she has been just terrific. She's averaged 15.8 points a game, shooting 53%. She is just one of those players that is such an energy player when she comes off the bench, and you need that with this team like Louisville, who has such incredible starters and great complementary players.
Odd stumble there from Durr. Let's see if there's a smile on her face. There is as she gets up. That's good to see.
And we'll take a look at what happens here. Just sort of lost the handle. Her teammates are going to make her watch that back.
Good to see her smiling after the fact. I have a feeling it's not going to derail her very much. 15 on the shot clock for Dunham.
I'm surprised Dunham didn't take that look.
Evans will take her first shot too strong. The Hokies would like to get out in transition. Haven't really been able to do that too much yet. Kendall Brooks' shot is short. McGarity, though, kept it alive, but nobody thought she would. Fearing swatted away. Jean's attempt, however.
That was a massive rejection by Sam Fearing inside. Wow. Here it is. The hustle for the rebound by McGarity. No surprise there. And then Jean's shot just rejected with the left hand.
3-point Cardinal lead. Carter, a drive, and then comes up a bit short. Rebound goes to Rachel Camp, the redshirt senior, who is such a huge part of this team's strong finish, especially a year ago, but has really been battling some injuries this season.
You see that knee brace on her right there, and when you have, I had plenty of knee injuries, thankfully no ACL injury, but when you have a knee that continues to give you pain, it's really difficult to play it at a top level and to play consistently, and that's hard just for the mental piece of it. When you know you can play higher at a higher level and you can't, it's discouraging.
Your body just won't let you. You can see Camp fighting hard here for the basket. That one felt good.
Yeah, no problem for Camp on that one. And you hear the crowd get into it. They know what this girl's had to go through. Here's the spin, just kind of threw it up on the first attempt. But how about Virginia Tech on the offensive rebounds? Already 5 on the O boards.
One shot. Coming up, Sam.
Virginia Tech, a very good free throw shooting team, but they missed that first attempt. In fact, they lead the ACC just over 79% from the line for the season.
Yeah, we talked at the Open about how this is the top 2 3-point shooting teams in the country. Not a single 3 yet has fallen.
Nobody's been able to lift up those pretty pink 3 cards.
Right.
It's only a matter of time, Kelly. Give it time. Although I will say, in that ACC tournament game, Louisville really struggled from 3 early. On cue, however, Durr looking to change that with a deep 3.
You knew it would happen, and you figured it might be Durr.
Louisville was just 1 of 11 from 3 in the first half in the last matchup against the Hokies. We only have 1 3 ball that's gone down so far. Thank you, Asia Durr, for going night-night on that one.
And that was well beyond the 3-point line. That's what she will do. You have to respect her really a couple feet across that half-court line.
Over 2,000 points in her career, now second all-time at Louisville, Asia Durr. Camp trying to take it against her, and you can see that arm wrap around. Pretty easy call for the officials. Foul goes against Camp.
You know, what I've liked about the Hokies offense is that there's been a lot of ball movement, passing the ball along the perimeter, looking high-low. On that last possession, that's too many dribbles for Camp, in my opinion.
Hot start for Virginia Tech. 4 or 5, but have struggled since that time. Louisville with a 4-point lead. Just over a minute to play in the first quarter. Nice drive to the basket, but not the finish for Jones. She's had a couple of those bunnies that she's missed inside.
Such an athletic player, can get to the basket so easily.
Shepherd. Emery really hasn't gotten going for Virginia Tech either. There's a 3 to go. Shepherd trying to pick up where she left off in Boston College a week ago.
14 points in that fourth quarter alone. She was draining threes and really the sole engine behind that comeback in the fourth quarter.
Finally, Virginia Tech was able to put together a really strong, dominant fourth quarter to get that win on the road. It's been a part of the game that had plagued them, the inability to finish in conference play.
Yeah, you think about those 2 overtime losses that they suffered against Florida State and North Carolina State. That was the problem, is being able to finish well.
5 seconds now. Emery in some trouble. Split the double team, then had it blocked. Kylie Shook into the game and swatting the shot away. But a good first quarter brewing here in Blacksburg. The second-ranked team in the nation, the Louisville Cardinals, with just a 1-point lead.
Toyota, let's go places. And Hardee's. Try the new Angus Thick Burger Melts. Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Good game after 1 quarter here in Blacksburg. Just 1 point separating number 2 Louisville and Virginia Tech. I think the Hokies, Kelly, would certainly have to be pleased with the way this one has started.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody scored just about except for the one you'd assume would have a big night or big day already. Emery has not scored. 0 of 4 from the field, but McGarity with 4 already, Shepherd with 3, a couple others with 2. And even
Carter has her second basket of the game to start off the second quarter.
Carter, one of those players that's just as good on offense as she is on defense. She has the assignment of guarding Taylor Emery. Maybe that's why she's 0 of 4.
See if Emery can get going here. She had a huge game against Louisville in the ACC tournament last year. Turns it over that time. Had 27 points in that quarterfinal game that nearly saw Virginia Tech knock off Louisville, who, as you know, went on to win their first ever ACC tournament championship. Kylie Shook had a big block to end the first quarter. Now drives and had her shot affected. Trinity Baptiste got a hand to it, but there was a foul on the floor. Baptiste will pick up the foul.
And we saw Jean come off of the floor as Shook took that fake along the 3-point line. That's what she'll do. Shook can hit that shot from long range. Nice little shot fake and made it all the way to the bucket.
McGarity just checked back in for Virginia Tech. 4 points in the game for the senior from Sweden. So many weapons on this Louisville team. Carter, the bounce pass to Shook, made its way to Fearing. Not how they They drew it up, but they'll take the 2.
What I liked initially on that set was the screen that Erica Carter used. She went shoulder to shoulder, and she was able to create some space to find that opening.
McGarity trying to drive baseline, Fearing having none of it. A lot of size on the floor right now for Louisville. McGarity, tough pass for Shepard to handle. 5 on the shot clock for McGarity. She's driving. Couple moves, the fadeaway around and out.
Cannot get over how effective that step back is. I mean, Fearing, we've already seen her block a big-time shot. That's a block unless McGarity steps back, and she does it.
Jones. Unlucky for Jasmine Jones so far today. Got the looks, just not the baskets. Mabry hits her first 3. Watch out if she gets going.
She's a rhythm shooter. She had her hands ready. Saw her feet adjust on the catch, ready to go right up.
What did Kenny Brooks tell us? That his freshman, Dara Mabry, one of the best shooters that he's seen when she gets those feet set. Carter, a long 2 on the other end. She has 6 for Louisville. Something about that Mabry name and shooting 3s.
I have a little sister leading the ACC in three-point field goal percentage, but her big sister from Notre Dame, not far behind, Marina Mabry.
I was going to say, you think Dara let Marina know about that percentage?
No.
She was taking a very brave drive to the basket that time.
I'll say, after you've seen these posts reject the way they have for Louisville.
There's the first basket for Jones. Junior from Tallahassee. Now on the board, averages just under 8 points a game for the season.
You like to see her getting hot if you're Louisville. She was a huge catalyst in that UConn win. Her game was just solid.
Baptiste. Virginia Tech needing some points here as Louisville opening up the lead. Now 6. This Louisville team averages just under 80 points per game. Nice drive to the basket by Evans. And Kenny Brooks wants a timeout. 10-3 run by Louisville. And Virginia Tech wanting to talk.
Hasn't needed to. I'll tell you what, Louisville doing a tremendous job off the screen, finding Fearing in the corner, and then Jasmine Jones gets her first bucket to go. She had struggled early, but then Dana Evans inside the paint. Of the 24 Louisville points, Jen, 12 of those have come inside the paint.
Louisville, you can see that stretch. Pretty impressive number when they have won the games they are supposed to win. 88 consecutive victories against unranked teams. Jeff Walls telling us before the game, he felt his team really has improved so much in the way they're sharing the basketball and taking the right shots. That was the right shot for Baptiste. Finally, for Virginia Tech, boy, they needed a bucket.
Yeah, you mentioned assists for Louisville. In that game against Syracuse, 22 of their 27 made baskets were assisted on. That's not a number you see very often.
The other team in the conference, Notre Dame, a team that shares the basketball very well. Seen put up some assist numbers like that.
Makes it fun to watch. You know, you're not just focusing on one player hoping that they get going. When you have a team that shares the basketball well, then you create quite a fan base.
Garrity lost it. Evans comes up with it. Maneuvers her way through traffic and has 2.
Evans really playing with some confidence right now. We've seen her take a couple of those mid-range jumpers. Saw her get one all the way to the rim earlier.
Really, what a weapon off the bench for Jeff Walls. I mean, this player very well could be starting for Louisville and probably would be starting for a lot of other teams.
I mean, here's the defense that just continues to turn into those buckets. This is where Louisville is so dangerous. And there's the mid-range shot. You know, I would be very surprised if Dana Evans did not pick up that 6th player of the year or 6th player award in the ACC. She does such a great job coming off the bench.
Dura with the block that time as she's back in the game. Nobody found Fearing going down the floor. When McGarity recovered enough to get over there, but she's got to be careful too. That's her second personal.
One of my favorite things about Sam Fearing, and there are many things about her game that I love, but it's that she runs the floor and she makes the defense come down and guard her, which eventually opens up that three-point look, which is what Louisville wants to do, is get those threes going in transition.
8 points in the game now for Fearing. Leads Louisville. She is perfect. 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
An area she has really improved since her freshman season. Just continues to get better and better under this Jeff Walls coach Louisville team.
Mabry was lost at that time, and turnovers have been one of the things that have plagued this team. And to be fair, Darren Mabry is a freshman point guard, and Kenny Brooks saying maybe he wished she didn't have to have so much on her shoulders. Probably some turnovers come with the territory a little bit. It's not to take away from the great job she's done, but turnovers have been an issue for this team this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been their Achilles heel. And against Boston College, they only had 11 turnovers, which is very good. The last 2 games before that, 21 and 23.
Better not be late. Rotating over. Number 25, that's her second 3. She now has 8. And there have been stretches for Virginia Tech when they've been in conference play where they've let the game get away from them a little bit. Sometimes they're able to fight back and get into it. But right now, you sense Louisville feeling pretty comfortable.
She just comes off the screen from her post player on the block and did not need much time to get that shot off and in.
Emery was slicing through the lane. Baptiste couldn't get it to her. Mabry still looking for some more options. Eventually calls her up. Number 1 high.
2 seconds away from saying probably too many dribbles on that offensive set, but when you got a step back 3 like that, no problem.
Taylor Emery, 18 points per game, the top 4 in scoring in the ACC, as that one's off the fingertips of Rachel Camp. No points in this game for Emery yet.
Checking in for your Hokies, number 2, Asia Shepard.
Mabry will come take a seat next to Kenny Brooks. Shepard back into the game. Evans, member of the ACC All-Freshman team a year ago, started just 1 game as a freshman for Louisville and started out this season with a couple of starts before Jeff Walls just said, look, we really like you coming off the bench. Dunham has that short corner shot down.
And he said that was something she had to adjust to. You know, every player wants to start. And when you're in college basketball, that's the hope. But she has taken this role on for her team, and she's adjusted. And, I mean, I'll tell you what, I think this is what's going to make Louisville so dangerous come NCAA tournament time because of the depth that she brings.
Camp. Thought she had that one in the basket, not so. Carter lines up the 3. To be Virginia Tech basketball.
Virginia Tech needs to get Emery some open looks right now. She's 0 of 4. And again, you got Erica Carter playing on her, jumping to that right side. They want her to go left.
Here is Emery. McGarity with those 2 fouls on the bench for Virginia Tech at the moment. 6 on the shot clock. A spinning move by Camp as she draws the foul. More ACC women's basketball coming your way Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can follow this Virginia Tech team as they travel to Duke to take on the Blue Devils. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Duke coming off a big win. It's always big when you beat your rival, but the way North Carolina had been playing, Kelly, I know they had that game on Thursday. No Paris Key. She was sick in that one, but for Duke, And their confidence down the stretch, I had to think that one was a huge win over North Carolina.
Absolutely, and you said it. North Carolina knocking off Notre Dame, and then the only unbeaten team in the country in NC State. And I think they walked into Duke expecting to get a victory. And when you don't have Paris Key, you lose a lot of offense right there. And I think if you replayed that game again today with a healthy Paris Key, it could be different.
Durr from the corner is good.
She doesn't need much time. You've got to be there with a hand in her face. Just being there, your presence there is not enough. You've got to deter her shot.
The battle between the league's top 2 3-point shooting teams. By percentage, it is well in favor. Well, it was well in favor. I forgot about Mabry knocking down a couple. They've each hit a couple. Here comes Mabry for 2. Durr has done the damage for Louisville from downtown. It's been Mabry. Durr looking for another. There it is. And she is just getting into that Asia Durr zone that gives opponents nightmares.
Yeah, you see her get into that rhythm as well, just like we talked about with Mabry. Got her feet set, ready on the catch, and that lefty's got a pretty stroke.
Louisville now 4 of 7 from 3.
And there, Erica Carter just brings the ball, or excuse me, Dana Evans dribbles up, finds her in the corner. I mean, I'll tell you, Asia Durr is one of those players that, I mean, you got to get a ticket to watch her play this year. She's gone after this. She'll go to the WNBA, but she is one of the most fun players to watch in women's basketball.
Mabry, a tough drive to the basket. Evans just held her ground, though, had Fearing there for support. It's been a little bit too much Asia Durr this quarter in particular for Virginia Tech to handle. Shepard, the one tasked with sticking with her at the moment. Dunham the rebound, and she is fouled by Emery. Asia Durr moving into second all-time, just past Shoni Schimmel on Louisville's all-time scoring list. Angel McCoughtry still number 1 for the Cardinals.
And those are the 3 names synonymous with Louisville women's basketball, and that's 100% credit to Jeff Walz and what he's been able to do since he stepped foot on that campus. He's recruited great kids, and you don't see numbers like that very often so consecutively. You know, you may see a stretch of about 10, 15 years, but to have 2,000-point scorers like that is pretty tremendous.
I mean, to give you some perspective, right now in the ACC, there are only 2 active 2,000-point scorers. One is Durr, and the other is Notre Dame's Arike Ogunbowale.
Tough is the ACC conference. I mean, Kenny Brooks was talking to us about that. It's just a whole different beast when you get into conference play, and so many great players, teams. Mabry trying to execute this final play of the half. Yes, and under. How about it?
Oh, there's a little boost for the finish for Virginia Tech as Mabry, a fancy drive to the that for Virginia Tech. Getting Taylor Emery going has got to be priority number 1.
Absolutely, and you know, this is a team for the Hokies. They don't run necessarily a lot of sets. They have a lot of fluidity in their offense, and they just look for what the defense gives them. But I imagine we may see some down screen, some elevator screen action for Taylor Emery to get open.
Reagan McGarity, too, has the ball in her hands right now. Had 4 points early, but then went quiet after that. Those 2, the key inside-outside combo for this team. Emery takes the first shot. It's short off the front of the iron. Durr. Nothing but net on that one. 16 now for Asia Durr. Darren Mabry, 10 points in the first half to lead Virginia Tech, but also turned the ball over a number of times. Good pass that time to McGarity. Good recovered defensively. McGarity, though, stuck with it.
I like that look, though, the high-low post-to-post, but did you see Asia Durr come in on the help from the corner? Quick hands.
She was trying to set up Dunham on that. Had a my bad after the fact. Put a little heat on that pass. Maybe a little too much.
Dunham can catch that, though. I think that's a kind remark by Asia Durr.
I love that on display. We're seeing the parts of her game you're used to seeing. The beautiful pull-up, the picture-perfect three, but also the defensive effort, the setting up of her teammates. She had 2 assists early when she was really being marked closely.
Yeah, she's such a great player on both ends of the floor, and I think that's what you have to be a good pro player one day. You cannot just be relied on to hit shots and hope that you have good numbers. You have to be able to be solid on the defensive end as well, and she certainly is.
Asia Shepherd hit her only shot in the first half. It was a 3. Mabry driving, dishing to McGarity, who is fouled.
We saw Mabry at the end of the first half with that reverse layup that she actually finished. So now the help comes from Fearing to try to stop it, and McGarity wide open.
Fearing picking up her second personal as McGarity goes to the free throw line, 72% free throw shooter.
Correction, that foul is on number 33.
So they're correcting that foul, not going on Fearing. It will go against Dunham. It is her second.
You have to imagine that at halftime, Kenny Brooks talked about those 2 players in particular, Taylor Emery and Reagan McGarity, being able to get more touches. We've seen already Emery with that open look early in this game, and then Reagan McGarity, a couple good looks in the offense for her, and she's been able to contribute here now on the free throw line.
Well, and watch how does Virginia Tech attack and get at the heart of this Louisville defense, because that was something Kenny Brooks said, look, if we're not careful, they'll have us starting our sets from the stands.
Yeah, and that's what the Louisville defense will do. And Kenny Brooks said they had the best practice that they've had probably all year after that BC win. And he said something changed in their confidence level. And right now they have a great test in front of them. They came back in that game against BC. Can they do it against Louisville?
Virginia Tech down 16 in that game at Boston College, but Asia Durr just hit her 5th triple of this game.
Remember I said you have to have a hand in the face of Asia Durr? Okay, McGarity had a hand in her face, and that's a big hand, by the way, and Durr still able to put it down.
Avery, a little hesitation dribble, opened up her path to the basket. She has a dozen.
These Mabry girls are so much fun to watch. 3 sisters, 2 at Notre Dame, 1 currently there, and just what she's been able to do here at Virginia Tech has been spectacular in her freshman season.
Durr fouled by Asia Shepherd. Asia Durr, one of the best free throw shooters as well in the ACC, just under 84% for the season. Such a wonderful part of Asia's story, a story of her brother TJ as well, manager on this Louisville team, and they've got to share a lot of special moments together. And now what is Asia's senior season?
She's a family first kind of kid, and the fact that she gets to have that time with her brother who she admires and looks up to, and it's mutual. You know, they both feel that about each other. That's something very special. Just as Kendall Brooks gets to play for her dad and her sister, Chloe Brooks.
Just about to say, certainly a lot of special family moments on this other side, too. McGarity swings the ball back to Mabry. Had it blocked by Jones. Brooks in the corner. Shot clock ticking down. Under 5. Mabry launches. Jasmine Jones up to Durr for an easy 2 off the glass.
Jeff Wall said they needed to get going in transition, and you got to credit Dunham's outlet pass that started this perfect from the 3-point line right now. 5 of 5. She's getting them all over around that arc. Doesn't matter if there's a hand in the face or not, then gets going in transition for an easy 2. She has been all over the place against Virginia Tech.
And a big performance by Durr and Louisville's big win over UConn, 24 points in that one. She and her brother TJ just 14 months apart, getting to share a special moment. We just talked about the two of them being able to share this journey together at Louisville. It's an amazing story. TJ had to have surgery to remove a brain tumor and may not be able to live out his dreams on the basketball court the way he might have wanted to, but what an opportunity to get to be there with his sister. See what these Cardinals are doing. Well, Emery, no luck on that one as she tried to beat the buzzer. That was the first basket of hers she saw go through the hoop, but a little too late.
I wonder if that will help at all in her confidence level.
No lack of confidence for Asia Durr, as you might imagine. 23 points. Really started to heat up, as you just saw there, the last 7 games. Not that I think even in those that stretched before where maybe the percentages was down a little bit, I don't think her confidence probably sagged too much.
No, she's a player that continues to grow. And by the way, here is what the officials were looking at just to make sure that that shot did not count, and it definitely did not.
Dunham was wide open inside. Missed the easy 2.
Maybe too open. Great diagonal pass, though, from Carter.
Emery. She'll drive with her left hand. Had it blocked by Durr, who went hard to the floor. Boy, that matchup right there. Durr not backing down an inch.
Remember we said Jeff Walls didn't want her to go right, so there's her left hand, and there's the lefty with the swat.
Get a good look at it from this angle here.
A lot of contact. Just going to be honest.
Emery would probably agree with your assessment there. Alexis Jean playing on her birthday. Got the friendly roll.
And another post player with that nice step back. Whoever's coaching the posts over there on that bench is doing a tremendous job.
Hokies trying to chip away at this Louisville lead. Good movement by Furing. Poetry in motion right there.
Yeah, she senses the overplay and cuts back door. This is a team that plays a lot of minutes together. They know each other very well.
First Louisville points of this half that were not scored by Asia Durr. Jean will try her left from 3. Why not, birthday girl? Have it.
Just as Asia Shepard came in that game against Boston College and gave them a lift, you wonder, can Jean come in here and score some big points against this great Louisville team?
Durr working off the screen. Evans. Ball to the floor. Emery got a piece of it.
And that's how it starts. You got to get a stop and score.
Mabry. Stop and pop for 3.
You got to shorten this comeback in your mind. When you look at the number, it's difficult to come back from that. But just shorten it. Get a stop and score. Get a stop and score.
Virginia Tech was down 16 at Boston College in the third quarter. Came back to win that one on the road. Starting to gain a little momentum here as they inch closer to the nation's second-ranked team. Jean. The last 5 points for Virginia Tech. Now Emery back to Jean. Their senior who's dealt with some injury troubles, trying to make an impact in this game.
Garrity wanted the ball on that possession, didn't get it.
Carter the drive, too short. Emery picks it up. End to end we go. Taylor Emery had a chance on the run out. She'll pull up and hit her first basket.
Complete relief for that senior right there. That's a big shot.
Tornado run by Virginia Tech. The crowd loves that. They love seeing number 1 on the scoreboard. Durr had it tapped away by Emery, and Virginia taking some momentum into this timeout.
Well, we waited a while for the threes to start falling, but this is the #1 team in the conference at threes per game with 9.5, and then Taylor Emery finally gets on the board with that.
She inspired and motivated by the day, and to this day, she inspires and motivates me. When life kicks you, let it kick you forward, and that's a good one for everybody.
Absolutely. What a great message there, and a great reminder of what these Play for K games are all about. The K-Out Cancer Fund, more than $7.5 million contributed since the fund's inception to help fight all women's cancers and serve the underserved. 85% of that funding coming from women's basketball.
And that's what she's done. She's brought together women's basketball as a community, coaches, players, and even since her passing, and this has just continued to grow exponentially, and that's a credit to who she was and what she believed in, and we are all the better because of the fight that she had.
Asia Durr, her first miss from 3. She was a perfect 5 of 5 to that point. Virginia Tech probably would have wished that timeout never happened. They were really rolling before the break. Taylor Emery had her first points. Alexis Jean helping out, and McGarity calling for it on the inside, and Louisville just not allowing her any space to breathe.
Well, the problem was you've got Baptiste up top, who's not a three-point shooter, so Bianca Dunham can sit in the middle of that paint.
Kendall Brooks can shoot the 3, though.
She's the best three-point shooter on this Virginia Tech team just last season. Her minutes are down, her percentages are down, but that's what she does so well.
And that's a tough title to claim on this Virginia Tech team. And you've got 3 on this roster in the top 10 all-time in terms of three-pointers made school history. Emery with the big block. The crowd loves it. Evans just sticking with it, though.
Virginia Tech's defense really starting to pick up. They allowed too many points in that second quarter for Kenny Brooks' liking, and this has been a different third quarter for this team.
Well, and you look at single digits, especially for a three-point shooting team, that's manageable. Louisville was up 20 earlier in this quarter. McGarity from the corner, the whole bench behind her ready to explode had that one gone down.
Oh, that looked pretty too.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter in Blacksburg. Carter pauses. And as well as Louisville has played today, they have missed several of those where they've gotten the right look and just haven't finished from close range.
Yeah, they're getting great shots out of their offense. A lot of movement along the perimeter opening up.
Emery for 3. Durr comes away with the basketball. Now we'll slow it down as she still had 2 teammates down on the floor on the other end. Fearing and Dunham take their place. Durr with the ball in her hands. McGarity came over to help. Did well initially. Durr still has it though in that left hand. Too strong. See which way it goes. That hand's pointing a couple of different ways, and it will belong to Virginia Tech.
You gotta credit Kendall Brooks on that last possession, forcing her to the right hand for Asia Durr. But I'll tell you, once she got it in that left, she got going. Just couldn't make it.
Only 0.7 of a second for Virginia Tech right there, but they will take the work they did in this third quarter, making it a ball game, headed to the fourth quarter in Blacksburg. Looked at the start of the second half like they might run away with this one. Opened up a 20-point lead, but then Virginia Tech came storming back. 11 unanswered. It's now a 9-point difference between these two teams.
Defense has just been critical in this third quarter alone, holding Louisville to 26% from the field in that third quarter, down from 66% in that second quarter where we saw them just light it up.
And consider, too, that Virginia Tech has made this run largely without the services of two of their top players, their leading scorer, Taylor Emery, and then Reagan McGarity. Both quiet as Durr snaps a stretch of 9 missed field goals for Louisville.
Yeah, you look at the assist number right now for Virginia Tech, just 5 assists in this game. Good look inside by McGarity, but if you're wanting to put together a win against Louisville, you can't do it one-on-one. You've got to share the basketball. I don't think McGarity's gotten even close to the amount of looks that she should have in this game.
I agree. I think I'd say the same for Emery, though. I know she certainly has missed a few. Not many misses for number 25, though, who has 25. And we'll go to the free throw line.
She's so good off the bounce. We said it early. She's a rhythm shooter. Just goes up strong. Not a lot of contact on that one. Still able to get it in.
Make it 27 now with that basket counting and a chance to add one more for Asia Durr.
Already 3 30-point performances for the senior. I imagine she's on her way to another one.
2 points away now for Asia Durr from 30 points. Try to help reestablish some control for Louisville, who's been in that position of control for much of the game. It was a tight first quarter. Second quarter really belonged to Louisville. And then Virginia Tech staking claim in the third. We'll see who has bragging rights after the fourth. What a feat it would be for Virginia Tech, a team that nearly knocked off Louisville in the ACC tournament quarterfinals last year. And a team that's been so close in so many of their ACC games this season. One on the shot clock, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Good defense by the Hokies.
Nice little block by Darren Mabry. I don't think she gets too many of those. But you said it, against Boston College, 16-point comeback. They went on a 19-2 run between that third and fourth quarter. And it's got to start on defense, and they got to stop. Can they score?
Mabry's been a spark really throughout this whole season for her team. That ball is kicked. I mentioned that the close games, the inability at times for Virginia Tech to hang on. You see in their ACC losses, remember they started 0-7 in conference play. In the fourth quarter, they really struggled. More turnovers than made field goals in the fourth quarter.
Just so demoralizing, I think, for Kenny Brooks when he watches the potential of this team and then to see them not be able to finish a game. That's why Boston College was so important to this team.
A couple of shaky moments. Mabry got bailed out before that play when Louisville kicked it. That time it bounced off her foot. Now Virginia Tech with just 2 seconds on the shot clock on this inbound. Camp will get it. Didn't have to take it. Does. And shot clock violation, though. The officials saying she didn't get it off on time. I'm not sure. They look at that again. They would agree with that assessment.
The officials have already overturned it, but just for our benefit, yeah, she got that off.
Louisville basketball, 12-point lead for the Cardinals. Good hands by Mabry. She and Emery are on the run. 2-on-1 break. Evans there defensively. Mabry wants it herself and makes it. Oh, what a gutsy move by the freshman.
Don't tell her that she is not a big player inside. I'll tell you what, she stands at 5'7". That could even be a little bit of a stretch. She plays like a big.
Asia Durr staring down 30 points. If she gets one more basket, there it is. She has 30. Virginia Tech just consistently has not been able to find an answer for Asia Durr.
There we go.
McGarity inside is fouled by Fury.
Here's the look by Mabry. You knew that it could have gone to Emery, but she takes it on her own, and then the answer by Asia Durr. Nice pull up with the left.
McGarity knocking it down. 3 for 3 from the line today. 9 points in the game.
McGarity has worked hard inside against Sam Furing, Bianca Dunham, you name it. They're throwing everybody at her. And it's exhausting in the post because you're using so much physical effort to get open.
And she plays so many minutes.
Yeah, I'm just glad they found her on the inside look. It's been so difficult for her to get an open look. Credit the Louisville defense.
Nearly 35 minutes per game for McGarity, who is up at the top of the ACC in terms of double-doubles. Furing slicing through the lane again.
We've seen 2 of those now. Can't overplay her on the perimeter. She'll make you pay.
McGarity's working hard again, calling for it. Jasmine Jones is there, came around the front of her. McGarity, well, she can catch her breath on the free throw line, maybe.
And you saw her point to the corner. She didn't want it from the wing. She knew that the help was too much on the high side. So she points to the corner, and that's where she wants the entry pass. Only thing I'm going to say on this, don't bring it down, girl. Just go up immediately.
Spoken like a true post player. Don't bring it down to their level.
No surprise what position I play.
Well, McGarity, what a career she has put together at Virginia Tech. She's the only player in Virginia Tech history to have both over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. She is the all-time leading rebounder for the Hokies.
That's something special. You do not see that very often.
10-point game now. Durr trying to change that. That one glancing off the rim. Emery tiptoeing, saying, I didn't touch it, and Virginia Tech will take it.
Louisville almost taking advantage of the fact that Virginia Tech was just out of sorts defensively on that last possession, looking around, trying to figure out who had who. Coach Kenny Brooks said they were going to change up the defenses. Maybe that was the situation there.
Durr trying to go for the steal. Shepard gets it back. It's going to be a foul as Carter tried to fight through the screen. That is actually the 3rd personal on Erica Carter.
They love that ball pressure. Louisville just likes to get into you up top on the perimeter, making it difficult to get those interior looks.
Evans on Mabry. Emery. It's been a little short on a lot of her shots tonight. Evans dishing. Furing will try it again, and there's the basket. 15 points now for Sam Furing.
I'm just sad she didn't make that first one so that Evans could have had that assist. That was a pretty pass through traffic.
Furing a rebound away from the double-double. There's a foul on the floor, and McGarity just continues to fight her way for positioning inside and is causing the Cardinals to commit the foul.
I mean, that's the offense they have to continue to go to. That's been what has worked. We saw Emery with that miss outside. That was a contested look. I don't think that's what Virginia Tech wants right now.
Now one more foul, and Virginia Tech will be in the bonus shooting free throws the remainder of this quarter. McGarity driving. Kylie Shook in there defending. Step back. Emery is fouled on the offensive rebound. She'll be headed to the free throw line. Virginia Tech trying to creep back in this one.
Tech used an 11-0 run to end the 3rd quarter, but to start the 4th quarter, no surprise who decided to continue to get hot in this game. It took her till the end of the 3rd quarter to miss her first 3-point shot. She's currently 5 of 7 from the 3, getting shots inside at will. She has been the game changer against Virginia Tech today.
Yeah, there just has not been an answer for Asia Durr. You know, in that ACC tournament game, I know we've talked about it a couple of times last year. Asia Durr was held to just 11 points in that game. She was 3 of 19 from the floor. Different story today. One of the best all-time, both for Louisville and moving her way up the ACC all-time scoring ranks as well.
Isn't that funny that we say only 11 points for Asia Dur? She only had one single-figure outing this year. That was against Wake. So in ACC play, 8 points in that game. You don't see that very often either.
She sets the bar high, Kelly. Emery, the leading free throw shooter for Virginia Tech, drains a couple, makes it a 10-point game again.
Here's the zone for Virginia Tech.
But Emery sticking right with Dur, at least so far. 4 on the shot clock. Fury, Carter took a dribble, got the shot off, shook with the rebound. That's a big offensive rebound, but then turned it over.
Kenny Brooks told us that he may come in with this defense. He did it last year. He said it's like a box and one on Dur, but it's not one where we're trying to deny her the ball. We're just trying to play on her and not let her get open looks, and they got a stop out of it.
Now can the Hokies find something on this end of the floor? Shepherd, good jump stop. She'll take that too.
Fourth quarter is her quarter.
It certainly was at Boston College. All 14 of her points in that quarter. Now a turnover. Jeff Walsh telling Dana Evans, calm down.
Erica Carter not even ready for that pass at all. But Asia Shepherd, there's the dribble handoff. Nice fake, gets Asia Dur up in the air and then sinks the 15-footer.
Little pressure being applied by Louisville. Now Evans will back it off. Emery curling through, got the ball and the basket. She's going to the free throw line.
Where was that earlier in this game? Coming off of 2 staggered screens to the basket, perfectly placed pass. There's one from Mabry, and off the glass with the foul and the smile from Taylor Emery.
There was some discussion though here. I thought they counted the basket. Yep, now Emery is waiting at the free throw line. The initial call was the basket was good and the foul, so Emery would have a chance for the three-point play.
And maybe it's on who the foul is called on.
But Emery's not even lining up to shoot the free throw. It might have been after the basket. Someone else was fouled, so our officials will explain things to the coaches and hopefully to us here in a moment as well. They did just confirm to us it is a foul off the ball, not on the shooter. So Emery's basket is good. There is another foul on the floor. What they are confirming right now is just who the foul was on and who the shooter will be for Virginia Tech as the Hokies are in the bonus.
Yeah, and I think the reason they're in the bonus is because of the play of McGarity right there. We saw that early on in the fourth quarter. They continued to go at her in the post, and she drew fouls one after another, and now it's paying off.
Mabry, a 91% free throw shooter. She had only missed 4 times all season before that one right there.
One shot.
41 of 45 prior to that miss. Wow, missed them both. And with all of the unfortunate bounces that the ball has taken for the Hokies this season, the league's best free throw shooting team has left some opportunities on the free throw line too. You think back to the Florida State game and it was Taylor Emery who had a couple of misses. Fury, nobody there to defend her.
14 assists now for the Cardinals to just 7 for Virginia Tech.
Here comes Emery to get it from McGarity. Baptiste. Emery. Quickness got her that look and she hit it.
Love the way she elevates to hit that shot.
8 points now for Emery. Had a slow start trying to get her team back in this one. Virginia Tech yet to win an ACC game on their home floor this season. Fearing again, moving so well without the ball, got the basket.
Louisville will make you pay. You even pretend to lean toward one direction and they will slip, and Fearing has been open so many times.
19 points for Fearing. Emery trying to thread the needle. Too much on that pass.
I told you I'm a post player, so you know I love a post-to-post pass. And how about this one? Nice screen. Finds her inside. Excuse me, not a post-to-post pass, but a post screen maybe that started that. I'll find any way I can to get those posts involved.
I see what you're doing there. Had the ball tapped a couple of times. Shepard with the final say, but it will go out of bounds. Louisville basketball. Timeout Cardinals. We'll take a break with them as well. Louisville being pushed here on the road, but the Cardinals trying to hang on. Under 2 to play in Blacksburg.
Darren Mabry, 17 points on 3 of 6 shooting from outside. She's been phenomenal. McGarity, Emery, those 8 points all coming in the second half. I just feel like the Hokies are doing better offensively. They're running really good sets and finding the players that they want to out of them. McGarity getting those looks inside. Emery getting a couple really good looks off screens.
6 seconds on the shot clock here for Louisville. The ball under their basket. Kendall Brooks was not going to take any chances. Hunter getting away, commits the foul. That's just the second team foul against the Hokies this quarter. So thinking ahead also, still plenty to go before they get into the bonus.
The only disadvantage to that is you get a full 30 now. Time clearly on Louisville's side here. They could run out the clock, take a last second shot late in the shot clock.
The clock is our friend.
Just had a fan in the stands say the clock is our friend. We're on the same page, buddy.
And I think it was Jeff Wallace from across the court. I was watching his mouth. I think maybe they both were yelling it because he was yelling it too.
That would make more sense than in the stands. We had a lone Louisville fan in here.
Louisville Cardinals have won 88 consecutive games against unranked opponents. They've won 8 in a row coming into this one. The only ACC team with just a single loss in conference play. But this Virginia Tech team refusing to go away. One of the top 3-point shooting teams in the conference. They can get points back in a hurry. Brooks does it!
When you're playing against a 3-point shooting team the way that Virginia Tech is, this lead could condense in a hurry. They averaged 9 a game. They're sitting with 7 right now.
Hokies second in the ACC in 3-point percentage, first in 3-pointers made in the conference. Do they have enough to test this mighty Cardinal team? Good hands defensively. Baptiste came flying in to take that ball away.
That's another level.
Virginia Tech will take a timeout to talk things over. We have a 5-point game here in Blacksburg.
So let us
3 to bring it within 5 for Virginia Tech. Tell you what, her last 4 games, Kendall Brooks had 3 points total, was 1 of 9 from 3. She has 2 today, none bigger than that one.
And you saw Dunham there on the collapse, worried about the interior. You got to worry about the exterior when you got Kendall Brooks outside.
Virginia Tech trying to find a way to get past this Louisville team, a foe that they have not beaten since both teams are members of the ACC. Louisville 5-0 since joining the ACC. Much closer in the overall series between the two. Cardinals leading at 20-17. But shades of that ACC tournament quarterfinal last year, perhaps here, Virginia Tech pushing the Cardinals. Emery. Time not on the side of the Hokies. McGarity wants it. Gets around Furing for two. Hokie run. Couple of seconds difference. Shot clock to game clock. Durr says, you better come foul me. She wants that ball in her hands.
And if you're Virginia Tech, you want to go inside to your big. Reagan McGarity, look at that. Got the post on her back. Furing goes right up over her off the glass and in.
Brooks. That is now the 5th foul, so now Louisville will be on the line. It's a 4th personal against Brooks, too. Has to be careful if she's the one guarding Durr, and that's where the ball is going. As Brooks obviously one of those 3-point threats for the Hokies. And now you play this game where you send an 84% free throw shooter to the line. 31 points in the game now for Asia Durr. And she has been perfect from the free throw line. So Durr makes it a 2-possession game again. And if you're Virginia Tech, what do you think Kenny Brooks is talking about here?
Well, first of all, you got to be careful of making sure you don't have a silly turnover at this point in the game. You know Louisville is going to come with pressure, and you need to make sure that you get the ball up, get into your set quickly. And I say you go back to McGarity. I mean, but McGarity also has to be ready to pass out of the post if indeed she draws the double, which I imagine she will.
Virginia Tech can advance the basketball off the timeout, so they'll get to start with it on their own half of the court. And it will be McGarity to inbound it, so we'll see if the Hokies try to work it back to her, or if they look for the 3 first. Emery has it. Pulls up to the 2. A little short. McGarity coming in, trying to get the rebound. Furing! Not going to let go of that basketball.
We've seen 2 big hustle plays by Baptiste in this 4th quarter. Look at the way Baptiste comes. Furing's got it, but how about Baptiste on the backside? Close to a foul, probably.
Well, yeah, it looked like she ripped her down. I'm not sure at the end of that play she had any of the basketball, which is of concern. Timeout on the floor. Furing, what a game she has played. I mean, you can't not talk about Asia Durr with 32 points, but Sam Furing with a double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and she has come up in some big moments, like just hanging on to the ball there.
Yeah, you know, we've talked a lot about the way that she's read the defense, and she slipped on numerous occasions to get the ball, and showing us a little bit of what she can do off the bounce as well. Got some guard skills, hits from outside. She can shoot the 3 as well. This is a player that's very dangerous for any opponent, and when she gets hot, watch out.
How about that efficiency? 8 for 11 from the floor. And she had a double-double in the win over UConn, too. 10 points, 12 rebounds, certainly contributing to the Cardinals' big win. Now Louisville advancing the basketball. Under 20 seconds to play. Furing got herself open, missed it, but then got the rebound. Takes a ton of time off the clock with the offensive board. Finally, the foul committed on Durr. Well, you know, she hates the miss, but the offensive rebound almost as big.
Yeah, you had to take that initial shot because she was wide open, and I think she was pretty surprised to be that open, especially at this late in the game. But I think that was wise, to dribble it back out, take time off the clock. As Coach Walls said, and that fan behind me, time is on their side.
Durr, a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Make it 6 of 6. Enrique Ogunbowale also had a big game in Notre Dame's win. Or at least they were up big last I checked over Florida State. Those two neck and neck in terms of the scoring lead in the ACC, but Durham might overtake her with this 30-point performance. 34 now her season high.
How big are those free throws, too? 7 of 7 for Durham.
Last chances here for McGarity and the Hokies, who, boy, they fought in this one, Kelly, but in the end, just not quite enough to keep down Asia Durr and the Cardinals.
And the Hokies did a tremendous job in this fourth quarter. Actually, the end of the third quarter, that's where it started, to try to get this comeback to go. But when you have a player like Asia Durr, who has 30 points, 34 points in a game, that's going to be tough.
See what's coming up for the Cardinals. That Miami game could be interesting. The Hurricanes with that big upset of Notre Dame on Thursday. And then the only other ranked team on the schedule there at NC State for Louisville. Hokies did put up a great fight against the nation's second-ranked team, but their 2-game win streak is snapped, and Louisville's rolls on. 9th straight victory for Jeff Walz and the Cardinals. Asia Durr leading the way with a season-high 34 points. Back with more after the break.
When I was